Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on monthly policy review and I'll be discussing MPR for the month of November 2021. Whatever news that has occurred in this entire month, we are discussing now because this is being released by end of the every month, right? And MPR is being released by PRS Legislative Research, right? To begin with, just to tell you something about PRS Legislative Research, this is an independent research initiative which was actually started in 2005. The main aim is to strengthen the legislative process and it supports the member of parliament as well as legislative assemblies, right? And these are MPR is based in New Delhi, right? For more details, you can refer to their websites also. Let's get started and what I'll be discussing. Before I proceed, those of you who are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. And before I start, just to tell you about the prelims test series that we have launched. Along this test, you will be getting IAS GAZETTE magazine 60 high quality tests would be provided under this prelims test series. So do check it out. The description section of this video for further details. A link is there where you can purchase this course, right? Now we'll start a session with the most important news that were reported in the PRA for the month of November. The first is health services to CAPF personnel and their dependent. जो सेंट्रल आर्म पुलिस फोर्सेस के कार्डर्स हैं, I mean, जो जितने पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस इसके ज्वाइंट में आते हैं वो सारे लोगों को बेनिफिट दी जाएगी and their dependent would also be the part of the beneficiaries. So the Home Ministry has launched Ayushman CAPF scheme. The scheme is a joint initiative by three important organizations. The first is the Ministry of Health Affairs. Second is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This is first the Ministry of Home Affairs. Second, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And last is the National Health Authority, right? तो अगर आपसे एग्जाम में पूछा जाए कि कौन-कौन से किन particular organization की joint initiative है ये, so you can name this, right? Mostly it is important for CAPF examination also, which is being conducted by UPSC. Now it provides healthcare services to all central armed police forces and their dependent. By dependent, I mean the family would be the part of the beneficiaries. Now 7 CAPF जो है इसके part में होंगे. The first is the Border Security Force. उसके बाद NSG. This is a National Security Guard which is used in elite force work, basically in terrorism or any other activities. CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force. CISF, Central Industrial Security Force. Assam Rifle, which is a part of CAPF. Most people tend to confuse. Assam Rifle is an organization which is under CAPF, right? ITBP and SSB, that is Sashastra Seema Bal. So you should know at least all these 7 organizations so that you cannot mark a wrong answers. Now moving ahead, under the scheme, the health card would be distributed to the beneficiaries all CAPF. By all CAPF, I mean the 7 important organizations we have discussed recently. A beneficiary would be able to avail the cash inpatient and outpatient health facilities. वैसे हॉस्पिटल में जो कि आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ मिशन के अंदर है या फिर आप कह सकते हैं आयुष्मान भारत प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना एज वेल एज सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हेल्थ स्कीम्स जो CGHS हैं, जो पैनल्स होती हैं, हॉस्पिटल अपने आप को इम्पैनल करती है, ये सारे हॉस्पिटल में उनको बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगी. Now talking about PMJY, it's provide poor and vulnerable families with an annual coverage of up to 5 lakh rupees for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization, right? And CGHS की अगर बात करें, it provide medical care to central government employees, pension and the dependent. So this is how it actually functions. Second news, that is scheme for mobile services in uncovered village. Government is making its best possible effort to ensure that the data coverages, the 4G network coverages is there in the rural part of a country. So in that endeavor, the union government has approved a scheme for a provision that 4G based mobile services would be there in around 7,287 uncovered village, जो कि 44 aspirational districts से ली जा रही है in the 5 states. This is 44 aspirational districts across 5 states, right? So the state initially is 5, gradually the government would be creating to many other states also. Aspirational district की अगर बात करें, ये ऐसे districts होती हैं, they are mostly underdeveloped and the point is to ensure कि जो sustainable development है, जो holistic development है, वो यहाँ तक पहुँचे, right? This is why we have tagged it as an aspirational district. The village to be covered under the scheme initially at this point of time include Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra and Odisha. Gradually, the government would be increasing it to many other states. If the state would increase, this 44 aspirational district would also be increasing. Now, the estimated cost of the जो implementations है उसकी पूरी अगर बात करें, this is for an operation for 5 years, around 6,466 crore rupees, and the fund would be a Universal Service Obligations Fund, जिसको USOF fund भी कहते हैं. What is this USOF fund? This has been set up under India Telegraph Act 1885 actually, right? To provide widespread, non-discriminatory, affordability, access and quality information in communications technology to serve people in remote and rural areas, right? So this is the main purpose of OSOF. It is being asked in examination. You can easily handle the questions. Now, sources to USOF are raised through that as levy on the revenue of the telecom operators under the various licenses, right? And this project is likely to be completed by 2023. Initially, जो 5 states or 44 aspirational districts को pass की गई हैं, that would be covered under this. Nutri-Smart Village Program. What is this all about? We'll understand in detail. The Ministry of Agriculture and Family and Farmer Welfare actually have launched the program on a nutritional smart village, right? So what this all scheme is about, we need to understand the main feature of it. So the aim of this initiative is to promote the nutritional awareness first. Second, to inform women farmer and their legal right, whatever right which is being there, to ensure that yes, these are the right interested with you and you can avail the facilities or the benefits out of it. Third is to utilize traditional and local recipes to overcome the malnutrition, because we have seen the number of malnutrition among the adolescents and even for the pregnant women has increased to a larger extent. So this purpose of this particular scheme is to ensure that we have less number of malnutrition in our country, right? And implementing the nutritional sensitive agriculture is something would be the pivotal part of the scheme. Now the other is All India Coordinated Research Project. What is this all about? So under the initiative, 75 villages would be adopted under All India Coordinated Research Program, जो कि ICAR, Indian or Central Institute for Women Agriculture. This is to ensure that they develop 75 malnutrition free villages, right? और AICRP की बात करें, and the network project is a scheme of Indian Council for Agriculture Research and Development, testing and identification of technology through multi-location strat, right? So this would ensure कि जो भी districts हैं, खास करके जो village हैं, उनको malnutrition से free किया जाए. There should be provided adequate nutrition, so both the women as well as जो adolescents child हैं, उनको proper nutrition मिले, right? So this would cover, this would ensure this only. And there are over 55 AICRP centers in India, and AICRP की बात करें, this center would adopt almost 5 villages with remaining adopted by the ICAR and ICWA. Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. This is a scheme which is something very important in terms of ensuring that a proper ombudsman is there. So Reserve Bank of India has released the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme for 2021. What does ombudsman mean? Ombudsman का मतलब होता है एक framework है to overcome the resolutions of services related complaints. Whatever complaint grievances you have, you get a proper resolutions to it, right? And RBI can appoint officers as an ombudsman and deputy ombudsman. The scheme integrates the Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006, Ombudsman Scheme for Non-Banking Financial Companies 2018, as well Ombudsman Company for Digital Transition 2019. So these three would be integrated under a single scheme, that is Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. इसी वजह से इसका नाम Integrated Ombudsman Scheme रखा गया है, right? Hope things are clear to you. Now, what is more about this scheme? The scheme would provide cover to non-scheduled primary cooperative banks that has a deposit size of almost 50 crore rupees, right? और कोई भी ऐसे कस्टमर जो कि एग्रीगेटेड हैं, उनकी अगर प्रॉब्लम रिजॉल्व नहीं हो रही है, they can reach out to bank and they can file the complaint under the scheme. The ombudsman will have a power to provide a compensation up to 20 lakh rupees for any loss that the complainant has suffered. So the amount is important here. You have to note that this is 20 lakh rupees. And it may also be award additional compensations to 1 lakh rupees to the loss of time expenses occur under the company. Now, RBI revised PCA framework for bank. Now, prompt corrective action is something very important, and RBI is taking this framework to all the banking sectors. So the Reserve Bank of India has revised the prompt corrective actions. This is called PCA framework for all banks that is issued in April 2017. The PCA framework provides for supervisory interventions to restore the financial health of a bank. It is very important tool by RBI which enable and ensure that the proper banking functioning is taking place in the country. Now, under the earlier framework, RBI has made supervisory interventions where the bank breached certain threshold related to capital की बात हो गई, asset quality की बात हो, portability की बात हो, even leverages दी जाती थी कुछ जगहों पे, but now RBI is ensuring that these framework are taking place with their full potential. Now, under the revised framework, जो profitability है related parameters have been removed and certain changes have been marked with the risk threshold and various parameters. So there would be a category of risk also which the bank has to ensure that they are not dipping down below that, right? And the revised framework will be effective from January 1st, 2022. Continuations of across scheme. We'll see what is the importance of the scheme. So the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has continued the atmosphere for climate research model observing system and services scheme during 2021-2026. So this is the tenor that has been increased for the across scheme. The scheme was earlier applicable till 2017 to 20 और across scheme की अगर बात करें, this is a different aspects of weather and climate services जहाँ पे implementation जो है वो IMD करेगी, that is Indian Meteorological Department, this is IMD. उसके अलावे National Center for Medium Range and Weathering Forecast, Indian Institute of Tropical Methodology, and Indian National Center for Ocean Information and Services. So under this, basically these are the institutions that would be the part of this particular scheme. Now the scheme seeks to provide a weather, climate and other hazardous related issues and its measures, right? तो एक precautionary measures होगी जहाँ पे कोई भी climate related problems के लिए पहले से awareness या warning दी जाएगी. This include public weather services, aviation services and climate services. The total estimated cost of the scheme by 2021-2026 would be around 2,135 crore rupees. Now there's another scheme that has been continued by the central government, that is continuation of O-Smart scheme that has been approved recently. So the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs has approved the Atmosphere and Ocean Modeling Application Resource and Technology, that is O-Smart, and this is again the continued for 2021 to 2026. The scheme was earlier applicable for 17-20. O-Smart की अगर बात करें, this is something which is developed in the technology and oceanographic research. This is implemented by National Institute of such as National Institute of Ocean Technology, Center for Maritime Living Resources and Ecology, and the last is National Center for Coastal Research, right? So these are the particular organization, and you can say the institutions, they are working as a backend support to provide the exact applicability and implementation of the scheme. Now the scheme would cover the oceanographic research to provide forecast of services based on continuation observations, जहाँ पे exploratory services and even harnessing the ocean services would be the priority. And the estimated cost for this is around 2,177 crore rupees, right? So these two schemes has been extended by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So you need to note this is being headed by the Prime Minister, right? Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs के बारे में भी आपको थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए. Niti Aayog released paper on digital payment. This is again something very important in terms of promoting the digital payments, banks, and all stuff of thing which India is looking forward with, right? So Niti Aayog has released a discussion paper on digital banks. Digital bank क्या है? ये rely करती है internet पे rather than the physical branches. And after the digital bank is there into action, the things would become more paperless, right? So Niti Aayog noted that incumbent commercial bank have insufficient business model. अभी भी जो हमारी banks हैं, जो normal nationalized bank काम कर रही है, वो traditional तरीके से काम कर रही है, right? So digital bank services can serve as an bank small business and enhance the trust among the retail consumer. So the focus would be the retail consumer, and the paper provide a template where regulatory framework for digital bank is very important. What are the key recommendations that was given by the Niti Aayog? We'll see some of them. So licensing digital banking, the paper recommend including a restricted digital bank license, जहाँ पे जो applications होंगी with the license would be there in the sandbox, जो कि RBI के अंदर आती है, and even जो उसकी operations है वो RBI के अंदर होगी. तो regulatory sandbox क्या है? This will offer certain relaxation to enlist entities and facilitate their experimentations, right? और RBI सारी चीजों को मॉनिटर करेगी. अगर उनकी परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी होती है सैंडबॉक्स में, then they would provide a full stake license to that particular entity, right? So full stock digital bank is a fully functional bank that can issues and give that can issue deposit and give loans to the citizen of this country, right? Now conditions for digital banking license की अगर बात करें, a bank is a restricted license that may require to bring a minimum paid capital of 20 crore. ये एक minimum requirement होगी, and full stack digital bank license should have a minimum paid up capital of around 200 crore rupees. The digital bank should have access to all infrastructure enablers such as UPI and ATM schemes. तो ये basic provisions हैं जो उनको follow करनी पड़ेगी. And even for mains examination, this topic is very important. आपसे पूछा जा सकता है that how the digital banking license is important in terms of promoting inclusiveness in the banking sector, right? To make sure you have good points to write in examination. Now we have a lot more other initiatives like daily news editorial analysis, which I cover with the Hindu and Indian Express on daily basis. We have IAS GAZETTE magazine, which you can download from the website. FCA, PIB, MPRS, and even the gist of YOJNA and Kurukshetra. These all initiatives will definitely help you to sail through the journey of civil services. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.